Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal and welcome to another live stream. Back again with the latest Arsenal news. I've not done this in a couple of weeks or maybe a month or something, but there's a lot of Arsenal news to talk about today. So we will be discussing the Leeds game tomorrow. Will it go ahead? Will it not go ahead? If it does go ahead, we are hearing that AUBAMEYANG won't be involved again. What does my guest think about that? What do you guys think about that? We'll also be talking about the links to Mason Greenwood and also the COVID situation around the other games. So back with me again in a long while, probably my fault. Ray, how are you?
I'm good, Glenn, and yes, I concur it's your fault, but thank you for having me on.
No problem. And
Been a while.
Absolutely. Since we last talked, what have you made about Arsenal? I know that's a general question. You can say a lot, but what have you made about Arsenal this season so far?
It's difficult because my expectations are quite different now.
Yeah.
I kind of enjoy each victory in isolation. So when we win a game, I'm just happy that we've won a game. My expectations is I just want us going in the right direction. We're a long way off from being where, of course, we want to be, but as long as we're making steps, and I feel it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but I still think we're going forward. So yeah, just onwards and upwards, man. So we're 4th at the moment, which is crazy.
Yeah, who knew?
I know, right? But
yeah.
I just want us to continue, really. And I think if we play away like we play at home, I think we'll be really good. So yeah, overall, I'll give it like a 7 out of 10, really, because we're in this position after 17 games, so we can't really complain too much.
Awesome. So I've put a poll in the YouTube chat. Make sure to vote. I have 15 people watching right now on Facebook and YouTube, so make sure to hit the like button and make sure to vote on the poll of how many goals will Arsenal score in tomorrow's game against Leeds United. 1 goal, 2 goals, 3 goals, or 4+ goals. We haven't done that so far this season, so will it be the first time? But first of all, let's start with the match postponements. Ray, what have you made of it? I know the situation is crazy over there, so do you agree with someone like an Eddie Howe that all games should just be cancelled for like 2 weeks, or are you in the side of if a game can be played, let it be played?
Tough one, really, actually, because personally, I can see why I could see why around a game should just be postponed, and allow people to recover, allow us to understand how major the Omicron variant is, because at the moment I still think we're trying to work it out. Humanity is trying to work it out. So if there was a postponement of a week, I'd be happy with it because it gives us the opportunity to understand and then adjust from there. My real issue is more around stadiums. I do think, unfortunately, we need to go back to closed stadiums again, behind closed doors, to keep everyone safe. Because I went to the Crystal Palace Man U game the other day at Old Trafford, and everyone is just happy-go-lucky, no masks, anything like that, which is great, but at the same time very concerning. And so, I think if teams can play, but it's happening, Glenn. I think there are going to be postponements, and it would be better if we were proactive. Let's give a week off, just a week off, understand what's going on. But then personally, I would like games to be behind closed doors. I hate it. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely hate it. But then it's safer for the players, and we can get back to a playing situation. Because the reason we're going to play as much as we can is because the World Cup's around the corner.
Very, very true. Yes. I don't think they can postpone way too many matches because Tottenham already have 3 games postponed and they haven't played their Conference League game, which will not be played. That's already a case that has not been solved. Plus, the World Cup is around the corner next year. How many times can these players play next year? Especially Chelsea are going to the Club World Cup in UAE around February for like 2 weeks. So there's no space for these games to be played. Hopefully, the Arsenal game does go ahead, though. With all that said, mostly because Leeds have a lot of injuries and I really want to play that game right now. So hopefully everyone keep on staying safe. Let's hope the games are actually played. But Eddie, I was complaining about some other teams playing 15 games, some other teams playing 20 games, 18 games. It becomes so confusing. But also, then again, maybe he could be waiting for January so that he can buy players. So I don't really believe him as a Newcastle manager. But let's see how that goes. So far, Leeds are okay. So far, Arsenal are okay. There's 5 games that will go ahead this weekend. Let's hope ours does too as well. But if the game goes ahead, so let's get the Leeds versus Arsenal preview. We've just won 2 games. What did you make of the West Ham performance? And Southampton performances, mostly the West Ham performance, because I've seen a lot of people saying let's not get carried away. Were you carried away after that brilliant win against them?
I was, yes, for the performance. I was just so happy. I was happy that we got in their face. We put the pedal on the metal. We were aggressive. We got in their face. A lot of that was from the drive of Lacazette and Martinelli, which I was absolutely delighted with. And we thoroughly won the game. Yeah, and I don't hear so many people blame what happened with the sending off. I think people are giving credit to Arsenal that we were excellent, and we were really good. So I'm delighted, and I just want it to be another stepping stone to go on another run, because we don't have the fixture congestion like the other guys, so we get the time to rest, we get the time to build and save up and stuff. And I'm excited about a lot of our young players. I think they're really good, but you have that youth, you have to have the experience. So the likes of Partey and Xhaka and Lacazette, they just have to be on form, because these kids they're kids. You can't rely on them all the time. But I thought the game against West Ham was excellent. And after the first 20 minutes against Southampton, I also thought that was a good performance.
Why do you stand on Xhaka? Obviously, he came back and straight into the team. Some people didn't agree with that. Did you agree with that, or did you want him to stay on the bench and play Lokonga? Are you happy with Xhaka being back in the team?
He's part of our best 11, in my opinion. Do I want him in the long term? Absolutely not. I'm not a proponent of Xhaka. I don't like the way he acts. I don't think he's a brilliant player, but Partey plays better with Xhaka, because I don't think Partey can be trusted defensively. I think Partey has not been good for us. Like, even in the game against West Ham, Xhaka played better. So I think Xhaka is definitely a player that should be playing. I think we need him, actually, desperately, because at least he's someone who acts as a pivot. I don't like saying all these words about Xhaka, but it's true. When he plays, we look better. So I'm very happy for him to continue playing, because if Partey is going to improve, he needs Xhaka, in my opinion.
Okay, Partey has been all over the place as well. Injuries, giving away the balls. It's not what you expected from him. I even had some people saying maybe he was just a Diego Simeone player. Maybe it's just Diego Simeone who made him a better player. Maybe he's not fit to play in the Premier League and all that. I've heard about all that. But we have such a crucial game against Leeds. Heading into this game, Leeds have a lot of injuries. Leeds have about 10 players missing. They don't have Bamford. They don't have Phillips. They don't have Junior, the left back, who's suspended. They're missing, I don't know if it's Click. They're missing Llorente. I think Cooper. They're missing so many players, about 10 players. So this is a game we have to try and win. Last season, we went there and we drew 0-0. So what are you hoping to see in this game against Leeds United in terms of formation and their approach? Do you want us to just go and get 3 or 4 goals, or would you be happy with any kind of win? Because they're very weak right now.
Yeah, I mean, we have to go for the throat. Like, I'm sick and tired of how we start games, especially away from home. We give way too much respect to the opposition, and we shouldn't, unless they're Liverpool, Chelsea, and and Man City, because they're the 3 best teams in Europe for me. We have to go for it, Glenn, because what we do is we'll play for like 10, 15 minutes, like we did against Man City. Be absolutely brilliant, right? Not Man City, sorry, like we did against Man U. Be absolutely brilliant, dominate play, look on the ascendancy, put the fear of God in the team. We score a goal, what do? We sit back. I'm sick and tired of that now. We get a goal, we go for the throat, because we got really good players. Yeah. And sometimes I feel like the players don't know that they're really good, if you know what I mean. We get the first goal, we get a second goal, like we did against Leicester. That first half against Leicester, we were absolutely brilliant. And then we sat back. But I can accept you sitting back when you're 2 goals up against a good team on paper. Leeds at the moment are not a good team. They've got loads of injuries. Their biggest player, Calvin Phillips, is out. So against Man City, they had no shield in front of the defense. So Man City just got in and in and in. We should do exactly the same. From the first minute, Glenn, we should be camping in their half. If we do that, I think we'll comfortably win 3-1 or 4-1, personally.
Where do you usually stand in this home and away thing? Because over the years, there's a couple of years where you had such good home form and then poor away form. And then last season, our home form was terrible. Are you one of those people who usually say it does not matter whether it's home or away, we should be winning these games? Or do you actually take the home and away thing into consideration?
I take it hugely into consideration. I think fans are the 12th man. And, during our pandemic or, the restart and stuff like that, I mean, I think it was literally there were more away wins than home wins because there were no fans for me. So now that the fans are back, I do understand why teams are a little more apprehensive when they attack, but I don't think they should be when you got good players like Arsenal. When you're home or away, drive at them, because you know what you're going to do? You're going to silence the fans, or even worse, you're going to make the fans complain. And when you do that, it affects the home players, I feel. So I feel it absolutely makes a huge difference. I think we've lost one game, drawn one game, and won all the others at home. I mean, you can tell me.
I think we lost to Chelsea.
Yep, and we drew to Palace.
Yeah, and then won every single.
So
with
I
a
think
clean sheet as well. A lot of clean sheets.
So I think it's 6-1-1 or 7-1-1 in regards to winning, drawn, and lost. Yeah. So we can replicate that away, because it's a big. I mean, we've got to win these games, Glenn, away from home. We just have to, because the league is at a point right now where, for me, 4th place is up for grabs. And I don't want to look back at the season and say, oh, we didn't win against Leeds away and the Everton game is unbelievable, or Wolves away and these teams. We can beat these teams if we trust ourselves to go and attack them. And if we do that, Glenn, I'm confident we'll do it. But will Arteta allow us to?
I mean, I don't have a problem with losing to City and Liverpool away. I mean, we've been losing there for 10 years straight, and also they'll beat everyone else anyway. But Brentford was such a painful one. We did miss players. None of those players who played in that game are playing right now anyway. It's fine, apart, I think, from Ben White or something. The Everton one definitely was very, very painful. We should never have lost that game, especially after missing that chance. You know which one I'm talking about, in Ketia, in front of the goal. It would have been higher than where we are right now if just that goal went in. And also, I think, which other team did we had some good performances against Leicester away. As you said, Burnley away. I think Burnley is a very, very good team as well, away at their place. So we need to start winning away games, as you said. So if we start winning away games, we will have to do it with this guy, Ray. Where do you stand on Aubameyang and his situation right now? Let's forget about the captaincy first, but his situation about not playing. Do you agree with him not playing? And we talked about this Ozil thing sometime last year. And
yes, we did.
So, do you think Aubameyang does he have a way back at Arsenal? Do you think I'll give him another chance to play and forget about everything else? Or personally, where do you stand?
Yeah, so you and I have always been divisive with Aubameyang throughout the last season. I have said for probably a season that Aubameyang, for me, shouldn't be in the 11. And the reason I say that is because it affects players around him, because he works very hard, no doubt, but he doesn't work hard in the press and putting himself around and making things tough for defenders off the ball, like Lacazette. And another thing is when Lacazette plays, when he drops off, the wide players become forward, so we almost act like a diamond. So you'll have Lacazette, Martinelli, Saka, like we did against West Ham, pressing them fully, because Lacazette was dropping in, going up front, like this, like being intelligent. So Aubameyang shouldn't be in the first 11 for me, Glenn, because when he plays, I think it scuppers the likes of Smith Rowe, Martinelli, even Ødegaard, even Saka as well, from driving more forward, because Aubameyang, he's a penalty box striker, right? But the problem with Aubameyang, he's not scoring, and he's missing chances. So he's getting in a position, but he keeps missing, and it's been for over a season now, right? Honestly, it's been about 15, 16 months now. So does Aubameyang have an opportunity to be back in the squad? Yes. Do I want him to? No, because I would rather keep Lacazette than Aubameyang. And the reason is A, age, and B, Lacazette works his arse off to be an asset for the team. While Aubameyang, for me, he works hard, but he works hard in, okay, I'm going to run after the ball here, I'm going to run after the ball here. I don't think intelligence is something that Aubameyang has for me off the ball. So I think we should look to sell Aubameyang in January, because he's had so many chances, Glenn. Like, come on, man. He's done these things before at Dortmund. No, but we got to buy a striker, Jesus. We got to buy a replacement.
Okay, so you want him gone in January. So basically for you, don't play him again, because I was about to ask you, if he stays with us, do you just keep him like Ozil for 6 months and just pay him? Because he doesn't have to go. He can just say, I'm not going anywhere. So what do you do with him? Do you just leave him on the bench?
No. If Lacazette can't play and stuff, we absolutely play Aubameyang, because he still has the ability to get goals. But I just think we're a better team without him. I think we play better when Lacazette plays rather than Aubameyang. And I'm sure players like Ødegaard would probably agree, because when Ødegaard is playing, he's looking excellent, right, with Lacazette. So
yeah. Oh, that's interesting, because I've seen people making it out like he's played very badly every single game. But I think games like Tottenham at home, Aston Villa at home, Crystal Palace at home, he did well in all those games, like goals, assists, involved in play and all that. But I do understand the terms of missing chances and all that. So about the captaincy, were you okay with Aubameyang getting the captaincy the first day?
No, never, because Arsenal do this. Yeah, we've been doing this for a long time. When we have an issue with a player, or we want to renew their contract, or not sell them when some of the sharks come and start sniffing around, we'll put the captaincy on Thierry Henry. Should have never done that. We'll put the captaincy on Fabregas. Should have never done that. And now we put the captain on Van Persie. Should have never done that. The reason we do this is as a guilt trip. So when we gave it to Aubameyang, absolutely never. And it was bad for him, because he is a stone cold killer. You don't want him thinking about how's the harmony of Tierney and all these guys. You want him to be like, right, that's the box. Put the ball in a box. I'll finish it off. And that's what he was doing. He was inspired in that FA Cup run, right, as a captain. He did brilliantly. I appreciate Aubameyang a lot. I just don't think he works for the way we play. So captaincy should have never been on him. But to be that, I don't really see so many leaders in our team, to be honest with you. The player I'd like it to be on, if I may, I'd like it on someone like Ben White, not Tierney. And the reason I say not Tierney is because Tierney's got to sort out his body, man, because we can't rely on him to play more than 3 or 4 games. I don't want my captain missing 40% of the games. While Ben White is someone who's assured in the team, someone who seems to lead by example, and maybe someone that can grow into the role. But again, he's not a natural leader, right? Like, who's a natural leader in our team? Probably Tierney, but he's injured all the time.
I don't think we have even one. I don't even think we can just say like 100% Ben White and Tierney are leaders. We don't know about that. Yes, they fight on the pitch and everything, but we're not sure about that. So since you brought that up about Ben White, who are the 3 players you're considering yourself in terms of captains?
Ben White, Tierney, and Lacazette.
Even though he's leaving at the end of the season?
But you see, I think it could change a little bit with what's happening with Aubameyang.
Oh, he could stay for 1 year, could be given 1 year. So for Ben White, do you think it's good to put that much pressure on him, because he already has that pressure of 50 million? I've seen it so many times. Every time he makes one error, they're like, it's not 50 million, it should have been 20. Then he's also the captain. Don't you think that will affect him really badly? Like 2 or 3 things people just talking about him, captaincy, 50 million. Don't you think that will affect him?
100%. 100%. You're right. Yeah, I don't think he should have the captaincy, but I see someone who could become a captain. I love the way he plays. I love the way he leads by example, and he's only going to get better. He's only 23 years old. I hate to say it, Glenn, and I hate to say it. The only real guy who probably could be captain for the way he's playing is probably Granit Xhaka, which is disgusting.
I know. He's actually the only guy. When he was given the captaincy, I was like, he's the only guy who can lead a team because he has that. But he does not lead by example on the pitch. Yes, we gave Aubameyang because at that time he was leading by example by scoring goals and all that, but he's not a leader. But as for Xhaka, you have to have both. You have to have the leadership, and you also have to play well. You can't just have a good leader and a person who plays badly on the pitch. So I do understand. Tierney, you've already talked about him. What about Ramsdale? Ramsdale has been mentioned as well.
Yeah, Ramsdale, but it's kind of similar like Ben White, isn't it? It's very similar with Ben White. He came with a fee that people didn't agree with, and he came with a lot of scrutiny. The fact that in the last 2 seasons he's been relegated, he's been absolutely fabulous. But again, you put something like a captaincy on someone that young, let alone with his experience and stuff like that, it's added pressure, like you rightly said about Ben White. So Ramsdale and Ben White should not get the captaincy. But your question was, who would you like it to put it on? Gabriel could become it one day, but not yet. I don't want to put it on these young shoulders, because that's what we've always done. We give it to Xhaka, we give it to Laka.
Yeah,
that's it really for me.
So you've told us what you do with Aubameyang. What do you think Arteta will do with him? Will he bring him back to the team?
I think he'll keep him because we need 2 strikers. I don't think anyone will buy him in January. Maybe Newcastle.
Yeah.
They'll throw more cash.
You're crazy if you go to Newcastle. I would not go to Newcastle right now.
Yeah. Unless there's a get out clause of if you get relegated, you have to sell me.
Yeah.
That's
I think some people don't want that in their CV, like I got relegated. Some people usually don't like that appearing in their Wikipedia and stuff.
Glenn, money plays.
Money plays. That's true. That's true.
So, I think he will keep Aubameyang because no one will buy him.
Okay,
and he'll be back up. Yeah.
That's interesting. So let's go back to the Leeds and Arsenal game. So what did you do with the lineup? Would you start the same lineup that has been starting? Because there has to be rotation someday. Would you just keep it the same? This is what I expect. Sorry, this is what I expect. This is what I actually put as what I expect. So would you go with the same as we have in the last few games, or would you change it? I think Smith Rowe coming for Odegaard. Would you do that?
I think Smith Rowe will come in for Martinelli personally. The reason I say that is, as much as I love Martinelli and he should start, I agree, is he's never played 4 games in a row for Arsenal. So this is uncharted territory for him. He's been phenomenal. He's brilliant at the press and everything, Glenn. But Martinelli has been, a bit like Tierney, very unreliable in regards to consistently being available. So I'm very worried that he could suffer from a certain burnout because he hasn't played this many games. Saka and Smith Rowe, they played loads of games, right? So they're used to this kind of intensity. So personally, I would play Smith Rowe on the left, keep Odegaard in the middle, and Martinelli to be an impact sub. That's what I would do.
And anyways, Smith Rowe has missed 2 of the last 3 games. Didn't play against Everton, didn't play against Southampton, and Saka also missed. I think he came off the bench against United, for example. He didn't start that game. So I think Martinez is the only one. But Martinez didn't play at all the entire season until the last 4 games. So I know he also has that injury risk. I do know that. What about Pepe? What are your thoughts on Pepe? Because I mean, he's never played at all. Are we looking to sell him?
I think we should look to sell him, and if we get 30 million for him, I think we should take it. I think it's unbelievable how much he cost. But you sometimes have to just cut your ties and be like, look, okay, you cut your losses, you let him go for the betterment of the team. This is the player Pepe is, and he just doesn't work for Arsenal. It doesn't. However, he should be coming on, not bloody Nketiah. The reason I think he's bringing on Nketiah, sorry, I'm switching it, but I'll go back to Pepe.
No problem.
The reason I think he's bringing on Nketiah is he's probably 2 things. A, on the shop window for a possible January sale, which I couldn't see. Why would anyone buy him now? Like, they'll sign a pre-contract. B, telling Nketiah that, look, play now and sign a contract and then I'll sell you. That's what I think Arteta's trying to do. He's playing him to get a contract off him and still try and sell him because Nketiah for me doesn't fit in his team. So that's why I think Nketiah is playing, not Pepe. With Pepe,
what about C? Wait, sorry. What about C? There's also option C. I've also heard about him bringing on Nketiah to pass a message to Pepe because he's been disrespectful in training or something.
Possibly, but you know, I feel Pepe is just a easygoing kind of player. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't get stressed, he doesn't get angry. He's just happy to play and all that, which I understand. But this is who Pepe is. We're never going to get more than this out of him, in my opinion. He's going to always be a sporadic, all arms and legs. 9 out of 10 times, absolute ridiculousness. He'll fall on his own feet. He'll be like Bambi. And that one moment, he'll do something magical because he's got the ability. You know who he is? He's Gervinho.
Oh no. I just saw him like 1 hour ago, Gervinho.
Without the hairpiece.
Just reminded me.
Without the hairpiece.
Oh my goodness. If it's Gervinho, sell him even for 5 million. Sell him immediately. So I don't think he'll leave in January. Also, I think he'll be involved in the African Cup at that time. It will be hard to start doing deals at that time. So between when he comes back in the end of February or something, if Cote d'Ivoire do well, March, April, May, do we use him to try and get something out of him for the end of the season?
Yeah, I mean, you don't look. Is Pepe a good player? Absolutely. So is Aubameyang a good player? Absolutely. But these guys aren't in the first team. Aubameyang comes in when Lacazette is struggling, in my opinion, or getting tired. Or you know what I'd love us to do, Glenn? I'd love us to put Martinelli up there, Smith Rowe on the left. Then you have those 4 guys. That's just exciting as hell. But Pepe, if Saka is unavailable, then Pepe should probably take his place if, Martinelli's on the left or Smith Rowe's in the middle or Odegaard's playing or someone's injured. However, because of the lack of fixtures, if we don't get injuries, there should be no reason to play Pepe. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because if Saka's tired, okay, we'll put Smith Rowe on the right and play Martinelli on the left. If Lacazette's really tired, okay, Aubameyang might be back in the reckoning. We play Aubameyang. So I think in the summer, we should really look to sell Pepe and see how much we can get for him. Because I think people will come in for him because he's a good player. And you know what he's going to do, Glenn? He's going to go to that team. He's going to play very well. They're going to say, why didn't Arsenal, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's...
Okay. So which player surprised you the most so far this season? Whether it's in a positive way or in a negative way, because you'd say maybe I was expecting 30 goals from Aubameyang, is not delivered. Is it Tomiyasu, the signing on the last day? Is it Smith Rowe banging in goals? Which player surprised you the most?
Gabriel.
Gabriel.
For me, I was happy when we got Ramsdale because I wanted 2 decent keepers. So him playing well now actually doesn't surprise me. I tweeted about it when we got him. Like, look, I think he's going to come good. Gabriel has really impressed me that he's starting to finally use his brain a bit and not be mindless and just go flying in like he did last season. I think he's starting to show some genuine leadership at the back there. I think that back 5 are starting to become a unit. You know, they're starting to become like a proper system together. So Gabriel has really positively surprised me that he's moved on so much from this season compared to last. So Gabriel really excites me. So for me, he's been the big surprise that he's matured so much mentally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's scoring goals, the threat in the opposition box, in his box is defending well. Would you also consider him as captain, or the language barrier is a problem?
Yeah, so 3-4 years down the line, I would love to see Gabriel captain. But right now, I do think it's language. And again, he's 23 years old, you know, like...
Yeah, totally agree. So everyone in our team is young. That's the funny thing. Give me a starting lineup for Leeds against Arsenal. Who would you go for? Okay, just fully. I know you've said you bring in Smith Rowe. Any other changes?
No other changes. So it would be Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel, Tierney, Xhaka and Partey, absolutely. On the right, Saka, who's just looked incredible the last 2 games. Ødegaard would play as the number 10. And on the left, I would bring in Smith Rowe. Only because Martinelli, I know he hasn't played all those games, but that's because he was injured. So, you know, I think his body's still adapting. And then Lacazette, absolutely. I think Lacazette, we push him for 65 minutes. He'll be blowing. He'll be tired by then. Hopefully, we're already winning by a couple of goals. Bring on Martinelli to kind of finish off Leeds.
Okay, last question on our squad. Where do you stand in all these other players? Because you have so many players you have not seen in a while. Cedric, Chambers, never even on the bench. Sell all of them, like in January.
I mean, if we can, because we're in no other competitions apart from the domestic cups, I think we'll be fine to have 20 players. Unless we get a really bad injury. But then, I think Chambers sell, Holding keep, Mari sell. You know, all these guys Cedric, I think could just be sold. Cedric sell. You know, I'm sure Newcastle will take a few of these guys.
Yes, El Neni. Where do you stand on El Neni?
I'd keep him because you know, one thing
nice
El Neni can. He's a nice guy. If you instruct El Neni not to move from his position, he won't move. And I think now I get grief when I say this, but when Xhaka was injured, I wanted El Neni to play. Why? Because at least he'll protect the defense. While Lokonga's young, man. Come on.
He is, but he will have to play a lot of games. El Neni is going, Partey is going, Pepe is going, and we have so many tough teams. Like you're playing City on first, Tottenham after that, so he'll have to play the big games. Do you trust him yet, Lokonga?
No, I'd rather play Maitland-Niles with Xhaka.
Again, very, very interesting. So that is the Leeds and Arsenal game. Let's hope it goes ahead tomorrow. As I said, Leeds have a lot of players missing, so I don't want this game to be postponed. It's a game we need to win. What's your prediction for it?
3-1 Arsenal.
3-1. That's the same as me, but I'm hoping we don't concede because our defense is pretty good. The last topic is about this guy Greenwood from Manchester United. So just to annoy the Manchester United fans first, we definitely needed a backup for Saka anyway. So I think Greenwood would be a good backup for Saka. So Greenwood, is he a guy you think would add something different to Arsenal? Or do you think that's too many youngsters in one team?
No, I think Greenwood is an elite talent. I think he could play up front like now for Arsenal.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely.
How much would you be willing to pay for him if they agree to sell Greenwood to Arsenal?
50.
50. Are you kidding? No, that's a lot.
I'm not
kidding, I know it's very good, but 50 million right away. You're sure about him that much?
I think Greenwood is one of the best ever young finishers I've seen.
Yeah, he's left foot, right foot. He can hammer a shot. Like when he shoots the ball, you can't say
and his movement and intelligence off the ball is elite for someone so young. What is he, 19, 20?
Yeah.
And when he plays for Manchester United, I've always been impressed. His movement off the ball, his touches on the ball, of course, his finishing. I think when he gets a run of games, which he has under Manchester United, he's brilliant, isn't he? He scores 5-6 goals. And he's not a streaky player. He doesn't go through like he hasn't scored in 17 games or something like that. I think Greenwood is absolutely brilliant. And I think he could already do the stuff that Lacazette can do. However, he's a stone cold killer and he's got, a good 8 out of 10 pace. So yeah, Greenwood straight up off the bat, Glenn, I'd pay £50 million for him. In fact, I would take him over Vlahovic. I'd take him over Kuznetsky. I'd take him over. Well, I think that's all the guys. I mean, you'll have to tell me, but those are the guys we're kind of being linked with at the moment. I would take Greenwood in a heartbeat over them. I'd pay 50 million for him off the bat, man, and put him straight in our lineup.
Fiorentina striker and Juventus striker, those are the guys we're being linked to. Let's see how much you want Greenwood at Arsenal. Terminate AUBAMEYANG's contract in January, give away Lacazette for 5 million and bring in Greenwood in January?
No.
You wouldn't want that, but that would be a massive talent. I can imagine him, Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe. That would be so exciting. Would be so exciting. Are you not worried about everyone being young? Don't we need some experienced heads in the team a bit?
No, because the difference I see with Greenwood compared to sometimes Saka, Smith Rowe, and Martinelli is I don't see an immaturity there when I watch him play. I see a guy who uses his brain all the time. It seems his brain's always switched on. And Greenwood relies on his intelligence to get in positions. While with Saka, a lot of it is raw talent. Smith Rowe, raw talent. Martinelli, raw talent. For me, Greenwood is, in a way, I think he's a thinking player like Odegaard, is that he uses his brain to get in these right positions and make the right movement and make the right passes. So I think, honestly, Glenn, I think Mason Greenwood is elite, which is insane. He should be in that Man U team somehow. I think he's a better player than Jadon Sancho.
Yeah, there's a Man U fan in the chat. I did say this is the story that is emerging today. I did not expect United to sell Greenwood,
no way,
especially to Arsenal, but I do expect a few players to leave United. I've had Cavani to Barcelona. I've had Lingard going. I've had Martial asking to leave. So very many players. Henderson, the goalkeeper, is asking to leave. So forget about COVID. United might not have players after the January window. They might sell everyone after the January window. They won't have players. So since in the transfer topic, in January, how many players do you think we'll need if you're trying to get top 4? And in which positions?
Oh my God, how much time you got? Backup everywhere. Okay, this is Dreamland. Okay, no, this is Dreamland. Okay,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Forward and a CDM.
Easy. A forward is going to come and start.
Yes, and a CDM.
And who's going to come and start as well?
Yeah, next to Partey, a better version of Xhaka.
Okay, so that's two strike signings in January would be enough for us to get top 4.
No, but you just said give me your top 2.
Okay. Don't give me a top 2. Give me how many players you think we'll need in January to get top 4.
Okay, a centre half, a centre mid, a striker, and we have 25 of them, but I think we need a backup right back because if Tomiyasu gets hurt, who the hell is going to go there?
Yeah, Tomiyasu has been brilliant. I actually saw our second goal the other day came from him. He's so good. Very, very good. You do know it's January. I have never seen Arsenal buy more than one player in January at all. I think there was Montreal. I think there was Karlstrom. I think there was AUBAMEYANG. We rarely sign
Reyes. Yeah, Reyes. Arshavin.
Arshavin. It's very rare. It's usually one player. So if you can get 4 and then get rid of some, that should be very, very good business. So that is Ray's thoughts. How are you, RK? She says I'm watching from Dallas. Abdi says Are you daydreaming? Greenwood, we are not selling him. That's a very, very strong United fan. How are you? Auba, we are just talking about you. Greenwood is United future. He's better than Saka and Smith Rowe. Do you usually compare those guys, or are you like all of them are good talents?
Yeah. It's difficult to compare players who are in different positions, right? Like how do you do that? For me, I think all three of them are like a 7/8 out of 10. So I think that's the best way of doing it. One thing is, though, England's future's extremely bright.
Yeah, very true. But still, might not be enough to win your Euros or World Cup. Ray always gets into me. Why do you want England to lose?
Yeah,
so much?
I don't get it.
Martial would suit Arsenal team. Would he? At this particular point, do you think Martial would add anything?
I think you should block Abdi from ever watching and commenting on videos again. No, Martial, I could see him going to Newcastle. That just has Newcastle all over it. It's like, come over, we'll sort you out. Martial will play. You know the thing about Martial, sorry. He's got all the ability and talent in the world, but you know what he hasn't got? He hasn't got it up here. He hasn't got the passion to become better, because Martial can do anything and everything that you want in a player. Great finisher, great pace, great touch. Great speed, but he's lazy.
They called him the new king. They compared him to this guy, but we can see Martinelli is the only guy who can score like that.
AUBAMEYANG scores goals like that.
I mean, he already has the number 14 to compare with Thierry Henry. Adebayo used to score like that as well. So thank you very much, Ray, for coming on.
Glenn, thanks a lot, man. Thank you for finally letting me come on, man. I appreciate it after rejecting me for about 2 months.
Come on.
Everyone, make sure you clip that and tweet.
You're always welcome, man. Let's hope tomorrow's game goes ahead. Hope you can get the 3 points. And thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit the like button. We'll be back again probably tomorrow for the match build-up if the game goes ahead. Keep staying safe and catch up with you guys on the next one.
Take it.